Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is time for game number 3 in the SGL tournament. It is EG versus Root, and I do believe this is the semifinals. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but it is the semifinals of the SGL tournament, which does feature the top teams playing in Starcraft 2. And it looks like now Root is going to be throwing up Minigun versus the Goliath Hydra. Every player now that Root throws up is kind of David. It's David versus Goliath, except maybe Kiwikaki. I will definitely be looking forward to Kiwikaki versus Hydra when Root no doubt throws it up, assuming of course Minigun loses this game. I don't want to assume that he will. There's a chance that Minigun can win. He is a very, very good Protoss, and now the momentum obviously is with Hydra. So Hydra so far crushing Cats in what seemed to be a child's play game. It was like watching a big guy step on an ant. Honestly, it was not even a contest. And really, you gotta wonder, what can Minigun bring to the table when you're facing off against a player who practices 10 to 12 hours plus a day in South Korea playing Starcraft 2. And I actually do believe now that Hydra has actually come back to North America to play in the NASL, so I'm not exactly sure if he's still in South Korea, but you gotta remember that Hydra trained with the best for a very long time. He's a top tier player. He's one of the best in the world. So what can Minigun do? And when you're facing off against a good player like this, oftentimes one of the best strategies, especially if it's a tournament game, is to just cheese. Cheesing maximizes your chances of winning a game against a better player, because you can't win a game in the long run against them, but you can try to win a game right away in the short run. So we may see Minigun do some cheese, or he may just have too much discipline, too much pride to cheese an opponent of this high of a caliber. Maybe he wants to win a heads-up game against them. Maybe he wants to play a long-term game. We're about to see Minigun now getting his 3 probes on gas. He is going to be getting his gateway down, and we should see a cybernetics core warping in right there. And it looks like he's going to leave just a small gap right here, where he's obviously going to put a zealot there to wall off and protect and defend against any kind of a Zergling run-by. Now, curiously enough, we can see that Minigun has not... Actually, no, wow. We can see that Hydra has not thrown down a hatchery yet. There we go. The hatchery finally going down. I was going to say Minigun was not blocking the hatchery over here, but in fact there was no hatchery to block in the first place. Hydra going for what seems to be a little bit later than normal hatchery, getting it at 19 supply, and he's gonna, as a result, have speedlings out a little bit earlier as a result. So we'll see what he does with those early Zerglings, with those early speedlings. We can see now Minigun blocking off his ramp, playing very safe and standard, and I don't think at this point we're going to be seeing any kind of cheesy play unless Minigun decides to go for Stargate. Stargate is obviously a kind of a hidden, up your sleeve, pop out with a Void Ray in your face out of nowhere, and a lot of times Zerg players have a difficult time detecting that. We can see Hydra moving his drone around, trying to scout and see what building Minigun is going to throw down after the cybernetics core. But with the sentry out right now, I think that drone is going to get taken out as a result. And as soon as that drone goes down, we're going to see what Minigun decides to throw up. He does have 2 gas right now, so Stargate is a very likely possibility. We can see Hydra also bringing in 4 Zerglings into the front door. The probe waypointing right through, and the drone even trying to kill off that probe. But that is not going to happen. And wow, a Twilight Council is going up. Oh wow, is Minigun gonna go for 3-gate Blink Stalkers, or is he gonna go for Dark Templars? Oh, Dark Templars would be so brutal. And if Hydra loses to DTs, I don't even think he would GG. He would just be so angry at losing against Dark Templars. And this is what Protoss players can do so well. They can hide their technology so easily. But Hydra, such a good player, is gonna bring his Overlord in from the south, and he is gonna scout the Twilight Council. And so now he knows the Protoss tech tree is narrowed down to 2 possible options. It's either going to be Blink Stalkers or it's going to be Dark Templars. And we can see a Chrono Boost being used on the Twilight Council, and you can bet that Hydra sees that. So he now knows that there is going to be Blink Stalkers on the way. He knows to expect it. So as a result, I would expect Hydra to go for Speedlings. And you guys can see he's got 2 bases right now. He's got his natural expansion down. He is just a little bit behind in economy, but he's going to do that catch-up right now. He's going to build his drones, and he's going to build his Zerglings. You guys can see he's actually focusing on a ton of Speedlings to deal with the Blink Stalkers. So very nice moves from Hydra. reacting accordingly to what he sees from his sacrificed overlord, and now we can see a pretty sizable army from Minigun starting to move out, but I would honestly expect Hydra to be able to deal with this very easily. He's got a ton of speedlings right now. Minigun is going to try to throw up a pylon right in front of Hydra's base. Hydra's so smart here, bringing Zerglings in from the back side of his natural expansion, and as a result it's going to get an almost perfect surround over Minigun. Minigun trying to throw up force fields, now blinking as a result to run away from the Zerglings. Nice blink right there. But it looks like Minigun is going to probably lose this pylon, and if he loses this pylon, he's not going to be able to warp in reinforcements. The 3 Stalkers getting in right before the pylon goes down. Oh, and Minigun using a blink right there. So now his Stalkers, a little bit of cooldown before they can use their next blink. Very nice micro right now from Minigun. He's got a lot of Zerglings he has to deal with though. Minigun only losing 1 Stalker. He's going to lose a 2nd Stalker right there. And that's it for Minigun. His aggressive play, that's going to be completely shut down. And Hydra is making 24 Zerglings. So we are about to see a pretty nasty attack from Hydra. Is Minigun going to be able to hold off? He's actually killing off his own pylon here. I don't know about that because that's going to allow the Zerglings to run inside. Minigun's Stalkers getting surrounded against the corner of his base. And Hydra is just showing why he is so damned good at Zerg. He is so good. He's just got complete map control right now. Minigun finally killing off his pylon so that he can get, I guess he killed that off so he can get the Stalkers inside out of the base. But he really didn't need to do that because he could just blink down. And now Minigun is throwing up a Dark Shrine. So we are finally seeing Minigun resort to the last desperate maneuver, trying to get Dark Templars out to even out the odds, and hoping that Hydra will not see this, will not have Overseers to detect. But Minigun's forces once again getting surrounded against this huge gaping hole in the middle of the map. And Hydra is just looking so good right now. He's got 40 Harvesters, over 26. He's building Spine Crawlers just as a precaution. But right now, all he needs to do is just make Zerglings, just make Speedlings. He's got brilliant creep spread. And honestly, I don't see Minigun winning this game unless he can get those Dark Templars out. The Dark Shrine is still about 30 seconds away from completion. Hydra now trying to surround this army. I think Hydra should be able to deal with this just fine. Stalkers blinking down below. Thankfully, Minigun does have some Zealots, and he's warped in 3 more Zealots from the north. So, wow, Minigun may actually be able to take this down. He may be able to kill off a couple of buildings at Hydra's natural expansion, but there's just still too many Zealots here for Hydra to deal with, so Minigun's still looking okay, but wow, Hydra has a ton of Zerglings, and he's gonna kill off this pylon. Even that Stalker gets canceled as a result. The Spine Crawlers go up, and with those Spine Crawlers going up, that's just gonna make it that much harder for Minigun to break Hydra's natural expansion. Hydra holding down the fort for Team EG. And Minigun hard pressed for Root Gaming right now. He has to make something happen. We can now see the Dark Templars starting to morph out. That's 3 DTs out on the map right now. Hydra, he does have a layer out, so he can get Overseers very easily. Stalkers once again getting surrounded. The Dark Templar trying to get in range to save the Stalkers. It looks like Hydra now realizes that there are DTs on the map. He's going to start to make his Overseers. And this is it for Minigun. He has to do something. He has to make it happen right here, right now, or he's going to lose this game. The Dark Templar is getting surrounded by the Speedlings. And I think that Minigun, that's it. I don't see Hydra losing this game at this point. Minigun's still on 1 base. That DT is alive with 2 HP. But it really doesn't make a difference because now there's a ton of Overseers over the map. The card has been revealed. Minigun tried to make something happen. He tried to be surprising. He tried to win the game with a little bit of a Dark Templar cheese right there, but it doesn't really matter. It looks like, oh, Minigun needs to get a Zealot there or the Zergling's going to be able to run in, but it doesn't matter. Hydra is going to win this game. Nice play from Hydra. He takes it 2-0 currently, and so far this series for Root Gaming versus Team EG, I believe that now EG is up 2-1, and Root is down, obviously, 1-2. So we're going to move on to game number 4. And so far, Hydra has been doing great work for Team EG. So I hope you guys stay tuned. HD signing out. Game 4 coming up next.